But as far as I'm concerned, the first thing you can do for me is to chuck all your medals and all your caps and all your pots and all your pans into the biggest flipping dustbin you can find. Because you've never won any of them fairly. You've done it all by bloomin' cheating.
Hello?
Hi, Allan.
Yes.
How you doing? It's Tommy in Glasgow. It was just to find out what's happening. Where am I to send this invoice for the bill for the report that was in there a couple of weeks ago in the paper?
So, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, my name's Tommy in Glasgow. I was the one that did the sting call to Craig White. And,
I really don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, right. Is yourself as the editor of the Daily Record?
Yeah.
Oh, right, because I was trying to get a hold. I spoke to Mark Smith there the other day in the Record, and he said he was going to get a call back, something about the finance, and he did indicate to me maybe I'm due about 20 grand. I was only asking for 5 grand, but, you know, I almost split hairs, but what it was, I did the sting call with a few of my buddies on the huddle board, and we want to get this donation that we promised to the Thai Tims and to Palestine sorted, so I was just wondering what's getting tied up. Are we playing hardball here? I mean, because the first copy of the first tape was allowed part of the press release, but the second one wasn't actually released, and you actually used it in that first copy regards the Stuart Henderson, the sting with Craig White. Is it coming to mind? It was only in the paper 2 weeks ago, Allan.
I remember the story you talked about. Listen, I'll speak to Mark tomorrow, but I really don't know what you're talking about, Tommy. I'll speak to him tomorrow and I'll give you a call back. Are you on this number all the time, yeah?
Yeah, mate, give us a call on this, definitely. I mean, I'm sorry to be off, I'm sorry to throw you this late tonight. It's just, I'm only getting to the bottom of it, mate, because however you got that second one, or the second call, you put it in there, and I feel that it's private property at that time. It wasn't yet released, and you obviously gave some of the information there, and I've spoke to people in the business, and I think it's only fair that you at least remunerate us, if that's a word I should use, for services rendered, because, I know Mr. Trainer have had many harsh words with in the past on other platforms, and he probably hasn't got a good word to say about me, but the old phrase is your enemy's enemies, so you use me to take down Mr. White, so I think that maybe, as I said, I think it's only fair that or else we could take another mayor. I'm just being as polite as I can, Allan.
Yeah, so basically there was two parts. It was all online, wasn't it?
No. The first part was only the first part that was the first part was released. Well, it wasn't even released yet, but it was passed over as a part of a press release. But the second one was.
You put it up online, didn't you, for a wee while, and then you took it down, didn't you?
No, it
was put online by mistake, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't put on mistake myself. What it was it was part between me and my cohorts who were part of the deal. We'd listened to it. It was part of a broadcast. It was between us, but not anybody else.
Aye. It was certainly widely available in other places as well, but listen, I'll have a word with Mark tomorrow and I'll give you a call back.
It was like you said there, it was widely available. The first call that I did was widely available on that day, but the second one that was made on that day that was in your paper, the clips that you put in your paper, was of a call that wasn't given its public airing until 10 o'clock that night, but it hadn't been into...
That's when you put it up in the huddle board, eh?
No, when it came on the huddle board at 11 o'clock on the Tuesday night, right, that was the first call. The second call was not released. The second call was done about after 2 o'clock on the Tuesday, but that call was only between parties who were part of the sting. So that one wasn't made released to anyone. It was only the parties who had listened to it, and I was the one... Well, I was the one who made the recording of it, and I kept recording. Supposedly, maybe someone else would have had that, but for me, who made it, and as I say, I'm an amateur satirist, and all I'm looking to do is to help the lovely Thai Tims and make out some good causes here, because it was part of an elaborate hoax to show not only the Rangers chairman off, or the fool that he is, but obviously to maybe spark you guys out to do some proper work. Sorry for to be like that, you know, Alan, but...
Listen, sorry, you mentioned there were on something like £20,000. I mean, so that's not the sort of money Dale Records ever deals in. But I'm well aware of the charity you're talking about. It's a really cracking charity, you know.
So how much would you be saying then, Alan? How much would you reckon?
Honestly, I'll speak to Mark, but I don't know whether there's this big myth about newspapers that would pay hundreds of thousands.
Well, to be honest, right, I'd give a figure of say 5,000, but I think in my second call that I made yesterday, Mark I think he was on it. I wound up with me. He was like, "Oh, Tommy, you're due about 20 grand," and I thought he's having a real giraffe here. But yeah, so
honestly, you know, the way newspapers are just now, and the way we work. I mean, so we pay there's a couple hundred there, but never any thousands. These days are long gone, you know.
Well, this is a good cause.
Listen, if you've done Mark has done on this, and I'll just check with Mark and you know, take you a word. I'll give you a call back tomorrow and see what we can work out, you know.
We'll split down the middle. We'll go for 10 grand then. How's that? I'm only kidding. I'll let you get back to me in seriousness tomorrow then, Alan. I'm sorry to bother you this late at night then, yeah?
No, not at all. No, when you phoned, and I just didn't recognise your name, but it's all kind of coming back just now. Sorry, I've just finished a 16-hour day, and I'm sort of sitting there watching Waterloo Road and kind of a wee bit not quite with it, but I know who you're talking about just now. I'll have a word with Mark, but just to absolutely upfront with you, you know, we don't do thousands of pounds for storing anymore. You know, we'll see what you can do, Tommy. Okay.
We can put it down as a compensation gesture. How's that? It's not for a story.
No, we put it down. No, we put it. I mean, if we write a check or get something here, but I'll speak to Mark first and find out exactly.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because it was trying to get through to the finance department or something to say, but I'll leave it with you then, Alan. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.
All right. Okay. Good night, then.
Good night. Cheers,
right.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, that was a call. Thanks for joining me today. That was a call made 2 weeks after the Craig White call. The reason why I'm playing it back, yesterday I made a call to Mr. Allan Rennie, editor of The Record, and on this show yesterday he said to me, "I don't know you." So, having been challenged like that, I had to go and dig into my archive for a show that as soon as we did it, I buried it and I made it available to no one. I think I'll make the whole show available now, because I wanted to keep it quiet. And last Friday, the £200, which I've got the invoice, which went into a relative's bank, because I don't have a bank, but the invoice of the money that was sent, I've got that. So it was £200. Oh, but they're not supposed to say that the Record gives out money. But since you called me out of being a liar, then it's cards on the table. I've got a £200 invoice, but it's okay. I didn't benefit because I'm a non-profit free speech activist. And last Friday night, I went to the tall cranes in Govan, the Govan Emerald CSC, and I handed it over to a lovely lady who's going to Kibera Celtic, part of the Celtic 125 years charity given from our fans, and all the lovely fans are going over there, and that £200 went to it. It was supposed to be for the Thai Tims, but if you look at the date, this was in anticipation of the Thai Tims coming over, and they've had all wonderful publicity. And the person who's going over there to Kibera, I thought it would be it'd be nice that maybe Craig White could help donate, not just to the Kludgy machine, but he helped donate to the lovely people of Kibera Celts. So thank you, Allan, for forcing me to go and dig that out by denying me. Why did you deny me, Allan? Why say that? I'm intrigued. Why deny someone who you spoke to many times with the evidence there? Don't you think I record these things? Tisk, tisk. Anyway, this is all it was here for. Speak to you soon, everyone.
But as far as I'm concerned, the first thing you can do for me is to chuck all your medals and all your caps and all your pots and all your pans into the biggest flipping dustbin you can find. because you've never won any of them fairly. You've done it all by blooming cheating.